And hey folks, me again, back again with another video today. I'm going to be reacting to the Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro. And yes, I do highly recommend it, by the way, if you're a fan of classic gaming like myself. You'll love this! So, hope you enjoy, like, subscribe. Let's begin.
I'm back with a unboxing and first impressions for the brand new Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro. Now, full disclosure, this was sent to me by a rep for SNK. And I'll be honest with you guys, I was a little surprised to get this offer because, in case you don't remember, I wasn't exactly blown away by the Neo Geo Classic Mini that came out a couple years ago. I ended up being kind of disappointed with it, but they gave me the opportunity to take a look at this, and I jumped at the chance because I heard that they took all the feedback that they got from YouTubers and poured it into this device here. So we're going to see if that's the case. So what exactly is this thing? Well, it's advertised as an all-in-one kind of pro-level control stick that has built-in games. It actually comes with 20.
Yeah, you'll love it.
It's very flexible because you can just use it as a dedicated console, or you can attach it to your computer.
A console and a controller in one.
And it supports the Neo Geo Classic Mini, so you can use this as a controller to the Neo Geo Mini, and I'm going to show you how that works. Also, it currently retails for $130 on Amazon. I'm going to put a link down in the video description below if you want to check it out for yourself. And like I mentioned, it has 20 built-in fighting games, and what's kind of cool about this is they've hinted at it.
Put Samurai Showdown in there. Yo!
But it has
Yo!
to actually add more games to it. So it comes with 20 fighting games, but in the future, it could potentially have hundreds, if not thousands, of games that are supported with it. As we pull out the box here, right off the bat, it just feels very heavy. It feels
It's supposed to be.
Really
it's a
does.
console.
It's got a nice weight to it. It weighs probably, I would guess, maybe under 5 pounds. Also included in the box is a printed manual. It also comes with a USB charging cable for power.
Good. That's good.
It has some pads here that you can stick underneath it if you want. I'm actually going to
stick the pads underneath it.
Around. And there is this little adapter for you to use if you want to connect it to the Neo Geo Classic Mini, which I will be doing a little bit later. Now, I know you're dying to find out, was SNK able to make clicky thumbsticks? Because as we all know, they are very hard to make. And I'm happy to report that yes, the clicky thumbstick is back. And that was really one of my first complaints of the Neo Geo Classic Mini, is that I just missed the clicky micro switches in the controller. That's what Neo Geos were known for. I love the precision, so it's cool that they have that back. You'll also notice that there are 8 face buttons, and there's a nice feel to them. Notice though that the colors, the main mapping is actually not like the standard arcade. They're stacked. So the red, green, yellow, and blue are stacked. Some people may not like that. By default, they come this way, but the good news is you can actually change the mapping in the games. And seeing how this is designed to be used not only with Neo Geo games, but also on your PC or perhaps other consoles, well, it's nice that these extra buttons are there, and again, you can map them. If you walk around the device, on the top of it, you have a USB-C power in, so they provided a cable for that. But you do need the wall adapter, so you're going to have to use the one that came with your phone. There's also a standard size HDMI out, and next to that is a USB port. Now they label that as a controller in port, but I suspect that that is also where you would upgrade the firmware and potentially add games in the future. On the bottom you have 2 places where you can plug in the
Put your headphones in.
Mini controllers. So you'll see you have one there for player 1 and player 2. And then there is a 3.5mm audio jack, so if you want to use headphones, you can. Then on the side you have a turbo button.
Oh, that's nice.
Options, select, and start. And then you have these little toggle switches here, and that's where you can put this into the mode of either being a dedicated console with video out, so you can play the games that are built onto it, or you can switch it over into another mode where you can attach it directly to the Neo Geo Classic Mini. It has a options here. So it explains all that in the middle. On the bottom, there's not much you need to mess around with, but you will notice that there is a plug here. And if you pull that out, that's where it allows you to swap the controller ball top if you want. So if you wanted, say, a bat style as opposed to like just ball type, you can do that here. So let's go ahead and hook this up and let's check out the games that are built into it. Right off the bat, I noticed that it is outputting clearer than the classic Mini, which is a good thing because that was my other major complaint about that device, that it was low res and it didn't.
The King of Fighters.
The output here is
King of Fighters, good game.
So it should look fairly sharp on a standard HD television, and as you can see here, it does. And we're going to get into the games themselves, but right off the bat, I noticed that yes, it definitely looks better than the Neo Geo Classic Mini. And as for the games, well, you see a bunch of fighting games, as I mentioned, and there are a bunch of King of Fighter titles here.
Samurai Spirits.
You have the Fatal Fury games. You've got
They have Samurai Showdown in there, thank God.
Games,
Yo!
World Heroes, Ninja Master.
I fucking worship that game.
So yeah, there's a bunch of fighting games in here. If you are fans of that, you're gonna love this. I guess for me,
Samurai Showdown.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
or English.
It would have also included some of the other non-fighting games. I would have loved to see some shooters on here. Or maybe
That could have been an improvement.
Now let's go ahead and jump into the options. So the first one there is language, and that is where you set the language for
English.
the menu itself. It's not for the games. Underneath that, you have screen size, which is very important. And what that really means is the aspect ratio and how much zoom that you are, how much that you're comfortable with or how much you want in your particular setup. For me, I usually like the 4:3, the kind of original aspect ratio. But you could stretch it if your TV is small or you just want it to fill the entire screen. Under quality is where you can really dial in exactly how you want the picture to look.
Pixel.
Now, by default, out of the box, it comes with smooth scaling turned on. And that's where it takes the pixels and it kind of smooths them out and makes them, I guess, a little bit more modern looking. Some people like that. It's
I
not
love
really
pixel.
my favorite. So one of the first things that I do is turn on pixel scaling because that's the old school style I like.
I love old
But
school.
if you're into scan lines, you have three different
No
options
school
here.
like the old school.
Transverse scan lines, longitudinal, and also 45-degree scan lines. Now I'm going to show you all of these running in the games, but I will say,
Like I said
a preview is
at the
that
beginning of this video, if you're a fan of classic gaming like myself, you'll love the Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro, excuse me.
Together, but I'll give you examples. Back in the main menu, you can set the volume for the headphones, and then underneath that is
Turn it up!
Under system, you have something called unlock.
I can just listen to my music while playing the console.
I'm not 100% sure what that is yet, but I believe it's where you're going to unlock.
Because right now,
games in the
gaming
future.
soundtracks,
If
let's
you
just
click
be
it
honest,
right
sound
now,
like absolute
just out of
shit.
the box, it says no external storage device.
If you want to make a real heavy metal game,
You could plug in a USB device in
add
there.
some fucking heavy metal into it.
But as far as I can tell, I can't figure out any way to actually have it see ROMs. So, not 100% sure what they're going to do with this yet. Same thing with system upgrade. If you click on it right now, it basically says that it doesn't see any external storage. So, I believe that maybe SNK is going to sell optional USB add-ons for this device, which would be pretty cool. And then back at the main menu, I do want to point out this question mark here, and that is basically just the manual for this device. And because there's so many different things that this can do, I am glad that they built it into the actual device itself, so you don't have to go try to find the manual. It's all right here on the screen.
It's all right there.
The first
Good.
game I want to check out is the King of Fighters 97. I just picked it randomly, and
The same year I was born, coincidentally.
I want to do this as well. Is that you can try it with the stacked buttons, but again, you can very easily go under settings. So you hit the button on the outside of the console itself, and then that brings up the menu system. And in there, you can very, very quickly set all the buttons to just the top row. And then you save it to its settings file or whatever. It's all handled internally. The only thing is that you have to do this.
Yeah, that's right.
for
Saw why you
every
like hipsters.
single
Classic
game.
gaming's back,
So
bitches.
every time you launch it for the first time, you're going to want to go in here and configure it if
Come on.
that's what you prefer.
Come on, come on,
Playing
come
the
on.
game
Come on, come on.
feels good. I mean, I'm sure that this is emulation, of course. I'm not sure about the details of the hardware, but it feels really great playing this game. Now, this particular game right here, you're seeing it's in 4:3, and of course I'm showing the pixels because that's how I prefer it. And then here is the King of Fighters 2002. And so basically I'm going to jump into a bunch of these fighters and just show you a random sampling of them so you can kind of get an idea as to what they look like and how they run. So that's obviously 4:3 aspect ratio with just the pixel scaling, but let's go ahead and go into the menu and then let's turn on smooth and let you see the difference. Now, man, you know, it's funny because I actually don't hate that look. I
Looks
can
pretty
see
clear.
why they made this the default, because I think depending on who you are and what you're used to, you might prefer this look here. I know I'm probably going to get crucified for that in the comments, but there are times when I
Is
turn
that your
on smooth
YouTube
and I'm like,
namesake?
it doesn't look half bad. Another thing I want to point out that can be important is mode or region. And so a lot of these games, if you go under options,
Samurai
you see this
Spirits.
thing that says mode
Samurai
mix. You
Showdown.
can choose basically
Yo.
Japanese, sometimes Spanish, or English, or it'll say USA.
English.
And of course, that will obviously change all of the text in the game, but sometimes it also changes the blood. So just be aware that if it doesn't look quite right when you boot it up, or if it's a Japanese.
But anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, follow me on Amino and TikTok and Discord. God bless y'all, and I'll see you next video.